All right, in 10.3, we're going to learn about circles. So this is our standard form of a circle. So this is our equation, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So our center of the circle comes from this h and this k. So it's h comma k. If you notice in the parentheses in our equation up here, it's x minus h and x minus k, or y minus k. So when we write our center, we always have to flip the signs of our h and our k that are in our equation. So if it said like x plus 2, we would flip the sign. Instead of plus 2, it would be a negative 2 for our h. So you always flip the signs for your center. So I'll make a little note here. Flip the signs. And then next we have our radius, so it's always going to be equal to some number, and that number is our radius squared. So r is our radius of the circle. And if you don't remember what a radius is, we have a circle. Our radius goes from the center to the edge. So this is r. And we can have more than one radius in a circle. From the center to the edge, this is r, so that's just another radius. From the center to the edge, that's r, so another radius. So you can have an infinite amount of radii in your circle. So it's just the length from the center to the edge of the circle. Yay! All right, so let's look at our first example. What are the center and radius of the circle with the given equations? So first thing we can find is our center. So our center comes from this number and this number, our h comma k. So what do you think our center point would be? What was that? Remember we flipped the signs. So 16 comma what? Negative 9. Perfect. Flip the signs for your center. Next we have our radius. So 144 is equal to our radius squared. So r squared is equal to 144. How do we find what just r is equal to? What do we have to do? Take the square root of both sides. Perfect. What's the square root of 144? 12. Awesome. So our radius is 12. So what is the graph of x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 25? So first thing we have to do is the same thing, find the center and the radius, and then we'll just put it on our graph. So it's just one more step. So what would our center be? Negative 1 comma 3. Perfect. We get those numbers from these two, and we just flip the signs. Let's put that on our graph. So we go to the left to negative 1 and up 3. So that's our center. Next, we need to find the radius. So if r squared is equal to 25, what is just our radius? Just r. Perfect. We take the square root of both sides, so r is equal to 5. So our radius is 5. That means from the center, we go 5 in every direction, and that'll make our circle. So we're going to go 5 spaces up, 5 to the left, 5 down, 5 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an end point of our circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another end point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another end point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's another end point. And then we just connect the dots with one big circle. And that's it. All right, we're doing the same thing here. What's our center? 3 comma negative 1. Perfect. We get those numbers from these, and we just flip the signs. So we go to the right 3 and down 1. That's our center. Next, we need to find our radius. How do we find the radius? R squared is equal to what? Well, r squared is equal to 36. Take the square root. And what's our radius? 6. Perfect. So we're going to go 6 in every direction from our circle. We're going to go left, right, up, and down. So to the right, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an endpoint of our circle. To the left, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We go down 6 and up 6. So we have our 4 endpoints of our circle, and then we just draw our circle. Connect the dots. Any questions here? This is our standard form of a circle. So we have to figure out what our center is, because our center is h comma k, so that's just going to go in these 2 spots. There and there. And then we have to figure out what our radius is, and that goes there. So looking at our graph, what is this point in the center? Awesome. 2 comma negative 5. So in my equation, I have x minus, what comes next? 2 squared plus y, what comes next? Awesome, plus 5, because it would be a negative, like minus negative 5, and 2 negatives make a big plus, so this would be plus 5. Good job. And then equal to r squared. So let's find our radius. Our radius is the distance from the center to the end of the circle. So what is this distance here? We go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So r is equal to 4, but in our equation here, we have to put r squared. So 4 squared would be 16. Perfect. And that's our equation of the circle. So again, I'm going to write my standard form equation up here so we can see it. I have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So what's my center in this circle here? 0, comma 1. So in my standard form equation here, I have x minus what? 0 squared. How can I rewrite x minus 0? What's x minus 0? Just x, right? So x squared. And then I have plus y, what comes next? Minus 1 squared. And then that's going to be equal to my radius squared. What's the length from the center to the end of the circle? 3. So my radius is 3. What's my radius squared? 9. Awesome. So this is my standard form of my equation of the graph.